The poker tournament had been divided into 3 separate tables of 4 players, which would result in 3 finalists who would face off in one last match.
Kirumi chose not to play and instead operated as the dealer. "Alright then, we're down to the last hand," Kirumi announced. The 3 finalists glared at each other.
Do you really think you can outwit an ultimate supreme leader?
Kokichi taunted. Kibo said nothing and merely looked over his cards. "Bring it on, liar boy," Miu shot back. Kokichi had won his round by bluffing unmercifully, to the shock of very few. Kibo had won with careful calculation of which cards were still in play and determining his odds of victory. Miu, no one was quite sure how she got this far. It was worthy to note, however, her previous opponents were all male. Kirumi flipped over the 4th card, a 7 of hearts. Kokichi quickly snuck a peek at his watch. Noting the time, he remarked, "What say we make this interesting?" "In what regard?" Kibo asked. In response to this questionnaire, Kokichi pushed his moderate stack of chips into the pot. "All in." "You sure?" Miu taunted. "You haven't even seen the last card yet." Miu was right to be cocky. That 7 of hearts was paired with a 7 of spades also on the table, and she held another 7 in her hand along with a queen. Kibo observed the table. The 4 cards Kirumi had laid down were the 2 sevens, as well as a 10 of hearts and a jack of spades. Kibo's hand contained the 8 and 9 of hearts. 2 different cards could give him a straight flush, and neither had been played in this round. The robot pushed his pot in. "I will call." Miu chuckled. "Fuck, I'm down." She too added her chips. Kirumi smiled. "Very well." The final card was flipped, revealing...
A joker?
"Of course," Kirumi replied. "We never said we weren't using one." "Whatevs," Miu scoffed. She revealed her cards. "Joker's a 7, 4 of a kind, queen high." Kibo nodded and revealed his hand. "I used the Joker as the 6 of hearts, straight flush to the 10. "What?" Miu shouted. "Man!" "Oma-kun," Kirumi inquired, "what cards do you have?" Kokichi chuckled. He laid down his 2 cards. The 9 and 10 of spades. "Oh, bullshit!" Miu exclaimed. "Why would you go all in on an inside straight?" Kibo questioned. Kokichi smirked and gathered up the chips. "You're just jealous because I won, so what's my prize?" Miu perked up. "I'm glad you asked."
The blonde inventor promptly stuffed her hand down her top and retrieved a flash drive.
Was all Kokichi could muster. "This baby's got storage capacity like you couldn't believe. You could hide a body in there," Miu bragged. Kokichi hesitantly took hold of the drive. "I really hope you're talking about the flash drive."
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to Himiko Yumeno's Magic Extravaganza.
Himiko's announcement gathered a bit less fanfare than one might have hoped, but that comes with the territory when your main star is half asleep most of the time. The group had gathered in the main hall, where Himiko had set up a magic box.
For my first spell, I will require a volunteer.
Himiko explained. To no one's shock, Tanko's hand shot up like a rocket. "Pick me! Pick me!" Himiko shrugged.
Come on up.
Tanko squealed with joy as she made her way to the magic box. Kaede smiled and nudged Shuichi, who stood next to her. "Aren't they adorable together?" "Together?" Shuichi inquired. "Well, maybe they're not together," Kaede admitted. "But they would be adorable, right?" "I'm really not the person to talk about romance." "Well, me either," the pianist replied. "But I'm rooting for them." As this exchange continued, Tanko entered the magic box, which Himiko proceeded to close.
Now I will use my transmogrification magic to change Chabashira-san's form.
Himiko tapped her magic wand against the closed box twice.
Behold!
She declared as she proceeded to open the box. As the box flew open, a swarm of doves flew out, filling the room in a flurry of feathers. The others were thrown into a frenzy. "What the hell?" Kaito shouted. "What have you done to Chabashira-san?" Kibo exclaimed. "Yumeno-san's magic is a Tot's miracle!" Angie cheered. "God must be with her!" Himiko let out a sharp whistle and the doves returned to the open box. She closed it once more.
And now I will change her back.
She tapped the box twice again, and once she opened it this time, Tenko did indeed step out. The Aikido master seemed somewhat dazed by the events. "Tenko feels funny," she claimed, holding her head.
Ta-da!
Himiko announced to the applause of the astounded class. "Yo, Shuichi," Kaito muttered to his friend. "You're a detective, right? How'd she do that?" Shuichi pondered this for a moment. "I don't know the nature of the trick, but one of two things must have happened. Either it's a trick where the volunteer doesn't matter, or she and Chabashira-san worked on the trick together in secret." "I bet it's the second one," Kaede beamed. A shared smile between Himiko and Tenko lent credence to that idea. The final event of the night began as Kaede made her way to the piano. She cracked her knuckles as she sat down and proceeded to double-check her sheet music. Kaito scoffed. "I don't get the big deal." "She's the ultimate in her field," Shuichi reminded his friend. "It's still piano," Kaito countered. "It's gonna put me to sleep, especially this late." "Just let her perform," Shuichi chided. Fine, Kaito muttered. "Just 'cause you like her." Huh? If Kaede had heard this exchange, she elected to ignore it, and proceeded with her first number. It was a tune that all of the members of the group had heard before. The song was quite popular throughout Japan, and yet as Kaede played it, the pep and amusement of the song seemed livelier than usual. It was as if a long-lost friend had returned after many years and wanted nothing more than a day of relaxation. And yet, the tune was one tinged with sadness. The lyrics were quite dissonant to the tone of the song, and the others realized that perhaps this was Kaede's way of paying tribute to Rentaro and Tsumugi. Though they barely knew Rentaro and Tsumugi was a traitor, it seemed wrong to just allow their passing to go unnoted. With the end of the old crooning number, the group clapped. "You were saying, Kaito?" Shuichi taunted. "Okay, yeah, that was nice," the astronaut admitted. Kaede began another piece. This one was different in that it started somber and grew progressively more upbeat. It was as though the clouds left by the previous song had broken and the sun was allowed to shine through. The class felt that this song was Kaede's way of saying they could take on the world. Shuichi, however, took a different interpretation. He believed Kaede was trying to say she had found her strength again. She had been through much in the past few days and was only now seeming herself again. Casino night was her pet project, and it seemed as though it was going to be everything that she had hoped for. Once again, the piece was met with applause. No commentary was made as Kaede transitioned into her final number. The closing number was amazing in its complexity. Kaede's hands never stopped moving as her fingers fluttered across the keys, quickly picking each note with expert precision. The song was energized and touching all at once. This was undoubtedly an anthem cheering the group on. There was nothing that could stop them if they stood as one. And Kaede's music made that clear. After the final notes played, Kaede stood to take her bow. The group was more than happy to give her the praise that the ultimate pianist had earned. Kaede made her way back into the sea of people and took in various compliments and congratulations. However, her main focus was drawn to one person in particular. Saihara-kun, did you like it? The detective blushed. Yeah, of course. Just... What? I was kind of surprised Claire de Lune wasn't in your set, he explained. You talked it up so much before. Well, Kaede fidgeted a bit. That's really more of a you piece than an everyone piece. Some other time though, definitely. Okay, Shuichi accepted. From the corner of his eye, he could see Kaito give him a thumbs up. Well, Kaede declared, it's just about nighttime, so let's hit the hay. We're still on for training, you two,
Kaito reminded.
Kaede and Shuichi sighed. The good mood that had pervaded the group shattered with an announcement by Kirumi. We're missing someone. The group looked around, trying to figure out who was gone. Kibo chimed in and revealed, Oma-kun is nowhere to be found.
I remember seeing him in the audience during my magic show,
Himiko noted. Then he slipped out during Bakamatsu's set, Miu supplied. But why would he just leave without saying goodbye? Angie wondered. A dark thought shot through Shuichi's brain as he burst into a run. Where are you going? Kaede cried back. The dorms! The class arrived to the main dorm hall too late. Shuichi stood in front of a large cardboard box, and the box contained two things of note. Kaede made the first all too clear. Are those the motive videos? Shuichi nodded. Yeah. He then held up a piece of paper. Oma-kun left a note for us. As Shuichi read Kokichi's message to the group, the true terror of what happened sank in. Sorry I had to slip out, but there's this movie series I've been dying to see. I made sure to label them to make sure everyone gets theirs back, so no worries. Love and kisses, Oma. Kokichi had stolen their motive videos, and it was clear he had watched all of them. End of chapter 12.